کنفرانس در کنگره آمریکا، حفاظت از اشرف. در کنفرانسی که روز 2 نوامبر در کنگره آمریکا پیرامون اقدامات برای حفاظت از اشرف برگزار شد، خانم ایلیانا روزلهتینن، رئیس کمیته خارجی کنگره آمریکا، آقای دانا روهراباکر، عضو ارشد کمیته خارجی و رئیس زیر کمیته تحقیقات و نظارت، آقای لوئی گومرت، نایب رئیس زیر کمیته تروريسم کمیته قضائي، خانم جودیچو، عضو زیر کمیته تروريسم کمیته قضائي، پروفسوررود وجود، رئیس دانشکده حقوق بین الملل دانشگاه جان هاپکینز، پروفسور ريموند تنتر، عضو پيشين شورای امنیت ملی آمریکا و آقای بروس مکولم، رئیس پيشين بنیاد حقوق بشری فریدام هاوس سخنرانی کردند. توجه شما را به گزارشی از این کنفرانس جلب می‌کنیم.
I want to turn the mic over right now to the wonderful chairwoman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Eliana Ross-Letene.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that warm applause. And for those of you who were not in our Foreign Affairs Committee today, that thanks to Judge Poe, he and I worked on a very good amendment to one of our Iran bills that out of our committee today that we hope will be soon on the floor of the House, and it deals with protection for the residents of Camp Ashraf. It once again, it restates our commitment. You know that we've signed accords, we've signed agreements to protect the residents of Camp Ashraf. I'm very worried about another possible military action by the Iraqi security forces against this peaceful, non-violent group of individuals who seek a better future of freedom and democracy and human rights for their families and for all of the families who are residents there. So we were able to pass that amendment. There was no objection to it, and it reaffirms the U.S. commitment to ensuring that we will work with the Iraqi government to make sure that they live up to those expectations, to those agreements, to those contracts. They signed this. They said, we pledge that we will make sure that the safety and the security of the residents of Camp Ashraf will forever be enshrined as part of our security forces. Yet what we have seen is the opposite of that. We have seen the military trucks rounding around Camp Ashraf, the music blaring, people not being allowed medical access, the slaughter of individuals not too long ago. And once again, Camp Ashraf is under siege because the Iraqi security forces believe that they can act with impunity because no one is there to hold them accountable. Well, I assure you, you have many members of Congress who understand you. I applaud you for your vigilance, for your way to encapsulate America's democracy, because you come up here every day in the halls of Congress and you're focused like a laser on this issue, and I want to congratulate you for everything that you've done, for helping to bring attention to this plight so that every member of Congress understands what the Camp Ashraf residents are undergoing. It is, they're subject to torture in many ways, psychological torture, where you have those statements being beamed to them all the time, and there's no peace and quiet. It is 24 hours where they're subjected to these propaganda messages and other hateful acts upon the residents of Camp Ashraf. So I thank you for really using the best of our democratic form of government, which is talking to the members of Congress, lobbying them, doing it at a grassroots level, and your work, your diligent hard work has had an impact. We have seen legislation being adopted as recently, as I said, as this morning with the amendment that Judge Poe and I worked on. So you are to be congratulated. Congress understand the plight of Camp Ashraf, and we will work very diligently with you and pressuring our State Department to do everything that they can to ensure that the Iraqi government lives up to its commitments, to its signed pledge to protect the residents of Camp Ashraf without exception. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so very much.
Don't worry about that. Listen, I have to tell you, nobody has to thank me or applaud me for doing the right thing, because that's what we're, in our lives, God has given us an opportunity to be on this planet and given us the choice of doing good things or bad things. I assume all of us in this room are committed to doing good things when we can. And I'm just very pleased that God has permitted me to be in a spot to help out on situations like we face with Camp Ashraf. What we're talking about are the lives of unarmed people, because they've made an agreement with the United States to disarm, and they are now in grave danger. And we need to make a noise, all of us together, and I'm very pleased that we have heard from, of course, the chairman of the full committee, I understand, was just here with you. And you have a great deal of support, because this is not a political issue, this is a moral issue. And if there is another massacre at Camp Ashraf, those people who've been dragging their feet on this designation of the MEK as a terrorist organization will be responsible for the death of these innocent people. Those pulling the pro-mullah or Iraqi soldiers who are sent in to do the dirty work. But those who will be guilty of this crime will be in the United States and are sitting over there in Foggy Bottom in their desks and being inactive at a point where we could save the lives of innocent people. If there's blood on the ground, that blood on the ground is there because of the inaction of our State Department, just as much as the action of what we would have to call the real terrorists who are willing to murder unarmed people in Camp Ashraf, as we've already seen. It's up to us to make these points, be tough about it, be vocal, make sure that those people who are holding up this decision, including the Secretary of State, they are the ones who are going to be held accountable if there's a massacre. Let's pray there's not. Let's pray there's not. Let's pray that that threat is enough to get these people moving. But we need to make sure that, number one, we quit begging and kowtowing to the mullah regime in Iran, because if we trace back the inactivity and inaction of our government right now, there is no doubt in my mind that the reason why there's inaction when we are making this demand is because there has been some type of deal in which we have begged and pleaded with the mullah dictators in Iran, and this is part of the deal. And if we have made a deal with the devil, whoever made that deal is the one going to hell, and I'm not going to abide by that. The people of the United States need to stand for something at a much higher level of morality than what we're talking about in this case and in what we've been doing with the mullahs. So it's up to all of us now to make sure our country does the right thing. I'm with you. You can count on me to do my very best, and let's all get this job done and make sure America stands for what it's supposed to stand for.